Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Check this out. A recent study reveals that our home's indoor air is up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. The study also says lead, radon, tobacco smoke, and more can all increase the toxicity in our home's air. This is why I'm such a huge fan of home air purifiers. This device uses best-in-class purifying technology to scrub 99.7% of indoor air pollutants. Its three-stage purification process makes your home's air healthier for you and your family to breathe. I noticed a huge difference after just the first night with it running in the background. I woke up feeling like I had the best night's sleep I've had in years. If you want to make your home healthier, get a portable air purifier for up to 50% off during their Father's Day special happening now. Go to amazingcleanair.com. That's amazingcleanair.com, or click the link in the description. I highly recommend it. Now, this just came out. Oh, don't forget, 20% off all green gear, promo code FATHER. Okay, so this just came out. Remember that poor little son of a bitch that got stomped out, like one of those. Remember as a kid, you put some dog shit in a paper bag, you light it on fire and put it on someone's doorstep. You ring the doorbell, they come out and stomp it out because it's on fire and they don't realize they're stepping in shit. Well, that's how this dude got stomped out. Like he was a burning sack of dog shit on a front porch. And rightfully so. You go up there and disturb somebody, you try to attack someone, he had a knife on him. Sorry. I got all this extra ass whooping. I got to give it to somebody. Here you go, buddy, you jackass. So it turns out they did an interview with this idiot in jail, and he finally breaks his silence. he tells the person interviewing him why he attacked Dave Chappelle. And basically, he attacked Dave Chappelle because he was triggered. He said Chappelle triggered him when he was making these jokes about the Ku Klux trans and homelessness because he had been homeless before and he's bisexual. So he's the B in the LGBT alphabet soup group. So he was all up in his feelings like a little girl. So he said what tipped it off is that one of the other comedians did a joke about pedophilia, and that brought up all these feelings from his past because he was molested. Oh, really? Another LGBT alphabet soup group person who was molested when they were young. Any correlation? So he's mad because he did that, and he says he wanted Chappelle to know that his jokes are offensive to the blah, 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 and the Ku Klux trans and homeless people. And he wanted him to know that next time he should run his jokes by people who could possibly get offended. Who the fuck are you? Do you know how comedy works? You don't run anything by anybody. You get out there and do that shit. Him doing his jokes in front of people, that's running it by you. We don't have to run shit by you. What's he supposed to do? Get a bunch of you crazy bastards together and try to make you all agree on what he's supposed to say? Get out of here with that shit. He said, I've been homeless too, and I'm a single father. I have a 5-year-old. Who the fuck let him climb on top of them and make a baby? And if you're a single father with a 5-year-old, what the fuck are you doing at a Dave Chappelle comedy show? He said he was in the middle of trying to lock down residents. Well, why don't you go tackle your residents first before you go kick it at a comedy show? Where was your 5-year-old? How did you afford tickets to a Dave Chappelle headlined comedy show in LA? Because I don't think he was up on the grass on the lawn. You know, if you wait a while to get your tickets to the last minute, they usually got some lawn seats. If he was close enough to get to Chappelle, where was he sitting? How did he afford the tickets? Where was your kid? And what makes this fool think that because he's triggered, he can go up there and hurt somebody? Do you think it might be because every facet of our society is pushing this shit, telling them that they're special, admonishing anyone who has anything negative to say about them? If you talk about the shoes they're wearing, you're a homophobe and your life needs to be torn apart. You think this might be the remnants of that, the residue of that bullshit? And he's like, oh, they stomped at me and spit on my face. Well, that's what you get when you go up there and try to stab someone, you stupid son of a bitch. And speaking of stabbing people, now he's looking at more time. He was saying that, I was looking at 6 months and some community service. It was nothing for what he did to Chappelle. But now he's looking at 15 years. Why? Because he stabbed somebody last year and the person recognized him after seeing him on TV for doing what he did at the Chappelle show. Yes, you dumbass. You would have gotten away with it, but you had to go out there and do something stupid. So the person you stabbed said, hey, that's him, her, she, whatever the hell. There they go. Went to the police and positively identified your ass for stabbing someone, you stupid ass. And he says, my son's gonna be big by the time I get out. Good. Hopefully your son realizes what a dumbass you are and he moves far, far away. That child does not need to be with you. You are mentally unstable. You thought instead of getting a place for you and your 5-year-old you seem to care so much about, instead of locking down residence for you and your kid, you thought, you know what? I want to giggle. I'm going to go to the Chappelle comedy show at the Hollywood Bowl. There was a Netflix special, a bunch of comedians on there. Obviously, Chappelle is headlining. But you thought that was a good idea instead of making sure your son had somewhere safe and clean to lay his head at night. And you're triggered. Are you sure you're ready for a 5-year-old? Because you talk about getting triggered? You've never been triggered more than having to get your kid to school in the morning and they don't want to eat something or they don't want to wear what you picked out. Talk about triggered. If Chappelle triggered you on stage, get that boy away from him because he's going to hurt him. If you can handle some jokes from a fucking comedian you don't even know, you're not prepared for the level of stress that comes with the child. Give that kid up. But don't worry, you might not have to. The state's going to take him away because you're looking at 15 years, you dumb shit. I was triggered because of his jokes. See that? Their version of the world sucks. In the less version of the world, we can't go out and have a good time and have jokes because everything has to be ran by the group that could potentially be offended. Well, that's going to be everybody at some point. So no more enjoyment. No more being allowed to go out and unplug and just laugh and enjoy yourself. Hand the responsibility over to somebody else. You do something for me now. I've been doing stuff for other people all day long, all week long. I want to come to the Netflix is a Joke comedy show at the Hollywood Bowl. Chappelle's headlining. I want to put my feet up, pay too much for drinks, and chill. But I can't because some crazy ass Ku Klux trans member is running up on stage fucking the show up. And really, you should have, I wouldn't be mad if they beat your ass worse. You got lucky with some lumps and a broken arm. They should have been stomping you out for the rest of the show. You got lucky. But now that you're looking at 15 years, you are probably going to get lucky, but not the way you want to get lucky. Somebody else is going to be getting lucky. You're going to be getting unlucky. What a dumbass. But what makes these people think that they can go up there and do that? I wonder what has been put in place. I wonder what's been jammed down our throats. I wonder what they've been saying that would foster an environment to make people think that they can do something to another person because they're triggered, because they said something that brought up some bad memories. I wonder, could it be the mainstream mediocres, entertainment, politicians, schools? So when you mix that with a little mental instability, this is what we have. But you know what? He made the mistake of committing this crime in LA County. And we know who their district attorney is. We know how soft he is. And now that this dumbass has come out as the B in the LGBT alphabet soup group, you don't want to be too harsh on him with his sentencing. The person he stabbed, they did live. And you wouldn't want to be called any kind of phobe or is, so let's give him a little slap on the wrist. But don't slap him on his right arm. That's where he got broke. Slap him on his left wrist. That's what's going to happen. This fool ain't going to do no serious time. He's protected. His skin color is darker than a shade of printer paper, and he's a Ku Klux Klan alphabet soup group member. You can't touch him. And that's bullshit. But I'm glad that person saw his dumbass, and I'm glad he's looking at 15. And maybe the planets will align, and the LA, what's his name? Becerra? What's that dumbass, the district attorney of Los Angeles? Yeah, I think it's Becerra, isn't it? Garcetti is the mayor. He's the bigger piece of shit. But maybe the planets will align and they'll actually give this fool the sentence he deserves. Whoops, damn it. Sorry, guys, I forgot. My bad. In California, your sentence is already automatically cut in half, so that 15 will be 7.5. And then he only has to serve half actually in the jail. He can serve the other half of that 7.5 on the street. That's right, California, the land of fruits and nuts. So even if they give him that 15 years, he won't serve it all. He'll be back out on the street. So all you comedians in LA, watch out, run everything by him so he won't run up on stage and try to stab your ass and get out. That's how we do it, guys. That's how we do. No bail. Okay, let him out. Handcuff him, fingerprint him, release him out there, make them scouts honor not to do anything bad. Disgusting. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.